All right, here is our caller.
Good morning, guys. It's Mike from North Carolina. Oftentimes, John has talked about and kind of breezed over how he was insulin insensitive at one time during his career, and that he fixed it over the course of about a year. But he's never really gone that into it. And currently, myself and some of my coworkers in the military, we found that we are the same right now. We're a little insulin insensitive. So just wanted to reach out and see if John could deep dive that a little bit, like how he got to where he needs to be. Appreciate you. Okay, bye.
I think what they need to do, and I don't know what these guys, I mean, I know they're in North Carolina, so they're at Fort Bragg. I don't know what side of the house they're on, whether they're on the soft side or on the, on the other side where we worked with the 18th Airborne Corps or whatnot. But my biggest thing I'd start with is a sleep study and see if that's the contributing factor. If they got sleep apnea and they're waking up and they're having this really stressful moment when they should be sleeping, I think the CPAP is probably the recommendation there, but I'd start with a sleep study. The other one, which I'm not sure how this would affect because I haven't had enough time to test it, but something like the Focus Calm.
Yeah.
That we just did a podcast with these guys that have this bitch and piece of tech that actually teaches you how to create mindfulness and relax. I think something like that might be beneficial before bed. So I'm going to definitely test that one. I'd say get off the opiates, cut out the alcohol, and cut off the coffee if you're really nervous, because we know that alcohol, opiates, and coffee all are going to stimulate cortisol release. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to live in a world that doesn't have coffee. I can, avoid drinking for a couple weeks. It's not a big deal for me. I do like to drink coffee, so I usually drink it first thing in the morning. Obviously, you want cortisol to be high in the morning, and then it titrates over the course of the day. You don't want to have, a ton of coffee and a bunch of high cortisol right before bed, because I think that causes more trouble. Aerobic work, make sure you're getting some form of aerobic exercise at least every day. Whether it's a walk with the family, 10, 20 minutes on the assault bike. It doesn't have to be crippling. 70, take your heart rate, 220 minus your age, take 70% of that and stay in that zone for 20 minutes.
We know some SF guys that have overdone the exercise.
Yeah.
What are some telltale signs that they're overworking out that could be contributing to
cortisol? So yeah, they can mess up their cortisol, fry the adrenals, and then all they do is they just kind of pop it on the backside of it and start trying to make up for it. And I think you would see that definitely with elevated fasted blood glucose levels. That's something to look at. So you guys got a little bit of a game plan. Mm-hmm. I want you to start with getting a sleep study, book a sleep study, see if you need a CPAP. Get a cortisol test, start measuring your cortisol and see, and it's a little spit test, saliva test, so they can kind of see what the curve of your cortisol is. I would definitely look at some micronutrient testing. I'd lay off if you're taking any painkillers, any alcohol, I'd definitely cut those out. I'd limit the coffee. And if you can start kind of figuring out what foods cause you to react, I would cut those out. And if you really want to get into the supplementation, you can look for something like alpha lipoic acid, berberine, or cinnamon extract to control blood sugar.